No, there isn't. The band's all here. I think I made this look good.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special call meeting of the Shelby County Board of Education. Ms. Anthony, please call the roll.
Board Member McKissick. Board Member Orgel. Board Member Woods. Board Member McCormick. Board Member Bibbs. Board Member Coleman. Vice Chair Love.
Present.
Board Chair Avant. Vice Chair, you have 6 board members present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss and take action regarding the interim superintendent's employment contract. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. After the pledge, please remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. Tennessee law makes no specific provision for the participation of the public at meetings of local boards of education. Not more than 30 minutes of each regular business and special call meeting shall be devoted to public comment as provided on the agenda. Public comment shall be limited to up to 3 minutes per speaker. No recognized speaker may yield his or her time to another speaker. Speakers must state their name, home address, organization he or she is representing, if any, and subject of the presentation before they are permitted to proceed. Speakers may offer objective comments about school operations and programs that concern them. Speakers are asked to refrain from using names of personnel or names of persons connected with the school system, particularly when lodging a complaint. Speakers would not be permitted to engage in gossip, make defamatory comments, or use abusive or vulgar language. The chairman of this meeting shall have the authority to terminate the remarks of any individual who is disruptive or does not adhere to board rules. How many speakers do we have?
37. I'm going to get 45 seconds apiece.
Okay, so we have 37 speakers. You will only have 45 seconds apiece, being that we only allow 30 minutes for public comments. At this time, I will call the names of the first 3 speakers. And if I mispronounce your name, please forgive me. Jack Sammons, Vicky Harmon, and Tequila Rucker.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Jack Sammons, and I'm here tonight not as a elected or appointed official of any sort, but just as a citizen and an employer of young men and women that are products of your wonderful school system. I just wanted to be brief and just tell you that it's my experience both at my company and my years working at the city that anytime you can bring people from within for promotion, I think that's a good thing. And I have had the opportunity to interact with Dr. Ray on a number of occasions and am very impressed with his commitment to the children, the parents, and the teachers of this community. And I think we are blessed indeed to have someone who's organically come up through the system.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And it's a real pleasure. Thank you. God bless.
Ms. Vicky Harmon.
Good evening. My name is Vicki Harmon, and I'm the CLUE teacher for several schools: Garden View Elementary, Sherwood, Whitehaven Elementary, Riverview Elementary, and Holmes Road Elementary Schools. I took the survey this morning. It was a great survey. I want to tell you a short story. A couple of years ago, 3 years to be exact, I was teaching in another school in Shelby County Schools. And there was this man that came down the hall, and my door was open, and he came in the door, and he said, "Wow, how do I get in this class?" I've never seen him in my life, and we began to talk, and he said, "How long have you been teaching?" At that time, 34 years. And I asked him, I said, "Are you a parent?" He said, "No, my name is Joyce Ray, and I work for SCS." He said, "I have never seen a classroom like yours in my whole career." And he said, "Thank you."
Thank you, ma'am.
You better get to your point quick.
Miss Tequila Rucker, Sharonda Thompson, and Tony Jackson.
Good evening, Tequila Rucker, President of the United Education Association of Shelby County. I would like to first thank Dr. Ray, Dr. Whitelaw, and also Director Phillips for showing up to support UEA at our Red for Ed standout on last week. We really appreciate that. As far as the philanthropist funding, UEA strongly opposes an outside source such as High Foundation or Pyramid Peak funding the superintendent search. We do support a nationwide search, long as it's district funded. And I also want to echo my statement from last week. We support Superintendent Ray. He is an educator. He's a native Memphian. As long as he's doing what's best for teachers and students within this district, we will support you. But at any time, we will rise to the occasion when we need to advocate for what's best for our teachers. So thank you.
Miss Sharonda Thompson.
Sharonda Thompson, 133 North Oak Grove Road, 38120. I stand and rise. You know, I like props and everything. Unbought and Unbossed was the 1972 Shirley Chisholm presidential campaign. And that's what we're looking for in our next candidate, an unbought and unbossed person. Philanthropy has its place within the district, but it shouldn't be funding the search for the next viable candidate. Let me be transparent. I stand as an individual and I support Dr. Ray. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. Have we not learned from our previous experiences with philanthropy? The last philanthropist told us that we were going to race to the top with our children, change legislation and policies that only help to permeate the unfounded, unsubstantiated claims that we are failing and our students are failing as well. So what I stand today to say is people invest their money in what they believe in. I'm a strong proponent of that. Let's invest our money in this superintendent search. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Tony Jackson, Rory Lawrence, Sylvia Albert.
Good evening. My name is Tony Jackson. I'm a teacher at Bethel Grove Elementary, one of those 28 schools slated to be torn down. I refer to it as the big land grab or the gentrification project, either one, because that's at the core is what we're talking about. We have the people from the Hyde Foundation who want to finance the search of our superintendent. We don't want any outside influence. We don't need their money. When people come to finance, they want to take control. They already told us that they have the firms and they want it done by the first of by the school year. We don't want any outside influence. If we can put a lawyer and a con man in the superintendent's spot, surely we can get an educator to run an educational institution. I nominate Dr. Vincent Hunter. He's already running the empowerment zone, a graduate of Memphis, homegrown, more qualified.
Thank you, Ms.
than
Jackson.
Superintendents combined.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Rory Lawrence.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rory Lawrence, 6530 Split Oak Drive, Memphis, Tennessee, 38115. I come to speak as a proud parent of 3 graduates from the Shelby County school system, and I'm grandfather to another 3 that are currently in the system. I've known Dr. Ray for almost 25 years, and I'm just coming off of being a temporary employee. I was full-time employee at Kirby High School during the transition, but I resigned on this past Friday. But I came to support Dr. Ray. This young man is homegrown. He's got his education and has been around the system. There is no better choice for the new superintendent of Shelby County Schools. And I wanted to voice my opinion on that. On behalf of my family and everybody at Kirby High and the Hickory Hill community, we would ask that you pick Dr. Ray.
Thank you. Sylvia Albert, Deborah Coakley, Alicia Hall.
I am here to speak on behalf of Dr. Ray. We need Dr. Ray in our district. This is Memphis, Tennessee. When you all bring people in from out of the district, they do not know our children and our families and our teachers and our leaders in Shelby County Schools. They come in. I've been teaching for 37 years. And I want to tell you the crazies that we have brought in here. We need Dr. Ray. Dr. Ray knows us. He knows the teachers. He has walked in our shoes. He has held our hands. He has been there for us. We need him. He is an investment in Memphis. He is an investment in Shelby County Schools, and we need him to lead our path. We are rising, and we need him to keep us going in the right path. Please don't bring anybody else in that doesn't know us. Thank you.
Thank you. Deborah Coakley. Am I saying the name? Oh, okay. All right.
Deborah Coakley, 8548 Woodland Road, Circle South, Cordova, Tennessee. I'm speaking on behalf as not only a citizen of Shelby County, but I'm an outsider yet an insider. I've known Dr. Ray for a very long time, and I remember meeting this young man at Kirby Middle School, and he always told me that I would be superintendent of Memphis City Schools. And as an outsider, let me just place this on you all's heart. You want someone who has gone through the ranks. He's been a classroom teacher. He's been a team leader. He's been an assistant principal. He's gone on to be a director, and he's done it all. So you want someone who knows your people and knows your community. I will say this, and this is going to tell my age, and I'm okay with it. A new broom may sweep clean, but an old broom knows all the corners, and he's your old broom.
Alicia Hall, Greg McCullough, James Gordon.
Alicia Hall, 8954 Fulton Lane, 3016. I am a mother of 2 SCS optional students. My daughter Gabrielle is a 6th grader at Colonial Middle, and my son Gino is a 9th grader at Central High School. I am also a SCS parent ambassador, and most importantly, I'm an involved parent. My purpose for standing for you before today is to speak on behalf of the parent ambassadors, my scholars, and their peers. And that is not to proceed with this national search. Here are my reasons. As a parent ambassador, I have seen Dr. Ray at every meeting, and that shows that he cares and supports his parents and students. I'm not throwing anyone else underneath the bus, but he is the one SCS admin.
Thank you, ma'am.
Morning, board members. I'm Greg McCullough, current principal at Central High School. Some 19 years ago, I had the opportunity in my first principalship role to inherit Dr. Ray as one of the few teachers that stayed as a old Shelby County teacher to help Memphis City Schools out. He didn't make the year in the classroom. I pulled him out immediately to help me in that building. And he has been a leader ever since. I've seen him work as a teacher, as an administrator, and he's made the quick path up the track because he's been very effective in what he does. I've been through 7 superintendents, and I've seen the outside come in. They come in for 3 or 4 years and leave us, change everything that we did, and are on the right track, change everything, and then leave us, and here we are again. This gentleman is the right man. He has the integrity. He has the love for the students. You don't need a search. Dr. Ray is your man.
Excuse me, sir. Before you begin, Tanisha Heaston, Muriel Dotson, and is it Kyra Sims?
Greetings, Shelby County. I am James Gordon, principal of Hickory Ridge Elementary School, 3890 Hickory Hill Road. I have been charged with the task to briefly express my thoughts about Dr. Ray, a true servant leader. I am very familiar with this complex text that I spend time with. From this complex text, it states, "But whoever would be a great among you will be your servant, and whoever will be first among you must be a slave of all. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve and give his life as ransom of many. Dr. Ray will be a great superintendent for Shelby County School community because of his loyalty as a servant leader for this community. I have been fortunate as the leader to witness the passion of hospitality and good customer service that Dr. Ray has possessed. In closing, a great African-American historian, Dr. Carter G. Woodson, expressed, "The real servant of people must live among them, think with them, feel for them, and die for them." Dr. Ray has definitely lived among the Shelby County community. As a student, teacher, principal, he has thought for Shelby County community as a director and a chief. And I strongly believe that when it comes to the business of ensuring students reach destination 2025, Dr. Ray is the man for the job.
Thank you, Tanisha Heaston. Thank you.
I am Tanisha Heaston, principal of Bell Forest Community School, the best school in the nation. I am a parent, a community leader, and I am a school principal. I am ready to move forward. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty for consistency. Over the years of being a school counselor administrator, I've remembered 3 things about superintendents. That's relationships, responsiveness, and accountability. Dr. Ray possesses all of these things. I've watched him. I've worked with him. SCS is strong. Let's stay strong. Let's stay with Dr. Ray. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Board Commissioners, my name is Muriel Dodson. Dr. Ray was my son's 6th grade teacher and later became his principal. Dr. Ray has proven his loyalty to the parents, students, and this district. I believe Dr. Ray can elevate this district to be the #1 district in the state and or nation. Please keep Dr. Ray. He is competent, caring, and compassionate about what he does. Thank you.
Moving along.
Ms. Sims?
It's a group of us.
Okay, so we're going to go by the name. Okay, and because you are a minor, I'm going to ask that you not state your address.
Good evening, everyone. We are here to represent the voice of the youth. Our voice. Hello, my name is Kyra Sims.
And my name is Carla Monzone.
My name is Madeline Bush.
And we are here from Student Congress. I hold the position of president, and we're here to talk about how Dr. Ray has affected us. So Dr. Ray came to one of our recent meetings, and he asked us personally what we like about our schools and what we don't like, and how can we better it. No other adult has done that for us before. We don't get, as youth, people don't think our opinion matters in our education. The last time I checked, sorry, we're the ones getting it. So as an adult, for an adult to do that, that really sparked us, helped, like, it really encouraged us that know that our opinion does matter.
And my name is Madeline Bush, and I go to Central, and please continue on programs like this throughout Shelby County Schools. Student Congress.
Okay. 5 seconds, 5 seconds.
Oh, advocating for our voice is no waste of time. Silence is who we aren't. Thank you.
Thank you. Antoine, is it Antoine Knapp? A-N-T-U-A-N, Antoine. Angela Nichols, Montavious Dean.
Antoine Knapp, principal at Germanshire Elementary School. I would just like to ditto what everyone else has said. We know Dr. Ray. Dr. Ray knows us. He knows this district. But most importantly, out of all the other intangibles, we have a relationship with him. And I think you get a lot more out of people when you have relationships. And I like the strong bond we already have. I think we have green grass now, and it's not always greener on the other side of the fence. I'm not interested in stepping from Bermuda to clovers and weeds. So just please keep the person we have in place right now, because we have the relationship to truly continue the trajectory of this district. Thank you.
Good evening, Angela Nichols, Principal, Willow Oaks, 4417 Willow Road. I just want to speak on behalf of Dr. Ray. You've heard wonderful things about him, and I just want to ditto that and also add that he knows what's best for teachers, principals, and most of all, children. He is a guy that gets it done, so let's stick with Dr. Ray.
Thank you. Montavious Dean, Amy Ellagram, Carla Monzone, Montavious Dean, no. Amy Ellagram, no. Carla Monzone, no. Randy Thompson, Tracy Scott, Stephanie Ivy.
Good evening. Randy Thompson, ILD, Shelby County Schools. I just want to thank you for your naming Dr. Ray as our interim superintendent. His list of qualifications are deep and wide and proven. I want to share one of his qualifications that I think that makes him the right person as our permanent superintendent. He's a servant leader first and foremost. Servant leader is defined as those that focus on the needs of others, especially team members, before you even consider your own needs. Dr. Ray, you won't remember this, but over 20 years ago, I was a substitute teacher at Kirby Middle School working on my master's. You came by each of the 3 days I was there and encouraged me every day to stick with education. When it came time for me to make my decision between MCS and SCS, I chose MCS because of your direct influence and impact. I've never seen you falter or sway or be decided in any other way than what you believe. Thank you for exemplifying servant leadership.
Good evening. Tracy Scott, 6840 Michaela Lane. I am the IOD of Zone 1. So we've heard all of the accolades of Dr. Joris Ray, and I definitely echo them. I would like to share a story of his servant leadership. In 2015, teachers of White Station and myself, we took about 60 students to Washington, D.C. We were stuck. Bus broke down. The company said 6 hours before anyone would come. What did I do? I called Dr. Ray. He worked his magic. The bus was there within an hour. Back in Memphis, we were safe, and he was there to welcome us. Dr. Ray, thank you. Thank you for welcoming us, and I look forward to serving under your servant leadership as Superintendent, Dr. Joris Ray.
I'm going to call the next three before you start. Okay. Deborah Gates, Catherine Battle, and Sandra Johnson.
Go ahead, ma'am. Is it okay? Okay. Stephanie Ivy, 2426 Espalier Cove. I'm an engineering professor at the University of Memphis. I work with Shelby County Schools with pretty much every research project that I have. I greatly appreciate Dr. Ray's support. He is an incredibly brilliant thought leader. I think that his ethics are on par. I appreciate the fact that whenever I bring in industry partners, he makes sure that we have the support we need so that they walk away from that really impressed with Shelby County Schools and everything that we're doing. I will continue to partner with Shelby County Schools the rest of my career, and I sincerely hope that it is with Dr. Ray. I would also like to share that I just really like him. So that's all I can think of. Sorry.
Deborah Gates, Principal, Downtown Elementary. I'm here this evening to thank all of you board members and to tell you how grateful we are that you've chosen Dr. Ray to be our interim superintendent. So we know that you're very smart because of the fact that you're already doing what should be done, and that's keeping him in that position. And you've heard all the accolades about Dr. Ray, but let me tell you what really sets him apart. Dr. Ray is less of a talker and more of a doer. So while other people are talking about the work, Dr. Ray is in the field doing the work. And that's what we appreciate about him. We appreciate his servant leadership. We appreciate the fact that he is one of us. He works for us, with us, and he puts all of us together. And he does what he does best because he loves the Lord. Thank you.
Good evening. Let me call the next two before you. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, good evening. My name is Catherine Battle. I'm the ILD for Zone 3. I've worked in leadership for a long time, and I can honestly say that I only have one real superpower, and that's spotting great leaders. And I thought I was alone until I heard about the vote. And I'd like to say that I'm now looking at others that have that same superpower. I want to thank you for that. I'd also like to tell you that working with Dr. Ray, when you want to know what it looks like to work with Dr. Ray, I'll tell you it's very easy. He's the kind of guy who comes into a school and walks with the principal. The first thing he says is, come walk with me. He doesn't stand in front of them and tell them what to do. He doesn't direct them to someone else who can help them figure out what to do. He asks them to walk with me. And when principals hear that from their leader, that's an invitation. So thank you for letting us walk with him for another year and a half and hopefully longer.
Thank you. So after Ms. Johnson, we'll have Wayman Thomas, Jamie Stallsmith, and Jonathan Humphrey.
Sandra Johnson, 518 East Event. I am a retired principal of Shelby County Schools, and my best days as being a leader in Shelby County Schools was serving under Dr. Jairus Ray. Always had a listening ear, was fair, supportive, always had an open door policy, never micromanaged me, trusted me as a principal and as a leader, never too busy to sit down and listen and have a conversation, a team player, a motivator, follows the last directions, he's going to get the job done. More than available to be a servant leader. Passionate, courage, humble, accountable, thinks above standards, knowledgeable, and exceeds expectations.
Good timing.
Wayman Thomas, 802 Stem Bridge, Arlington, Tennessee. I guess I can throw this out I can ball this up now. Just wanted to congratulate Dr. Ray. For those who don't know me, a lot of people here know me. I had cancer in 2003. Dr. Ray came to see me. He was there for me. A lot of people don't know that. He prayed with me. This man stood by me, encouraged me to get my degree. And that's the reason why right now I'm in the school system, because I was a coach. And I want to tell Dr. Ray, y'all have a diamond. Let that diamond shine. That man is a diamond. He came up through Shelby County Schools, came up through Memphis City school system. The rough edges has been broken off. Let that diamond shine. You all have somebody there who knows and understands Memphis City School and Shelby County School. Let that diamond shine.
Good evening. I'm Jamie Stallsmith, principal of Snowden School, 1870 North Parkway. Many people here tonight are wearing red for Ray. We're here tonight wearing green for greatness. The green represents the great work we've begun in Destination 2025. And I'm asking to be able to continue that trajectory on to greatness with Dr. Ray. Are you having problems? Okay. Dr. Ray understands our district, our schools, our teachers, our children, and our communities. And oddly enough, he's responsive to that very group of people. That is the one thing I can say about him or the many things I can say about him that are great, is he reaches out to all of those groups. And it's rare that you find a superintendent that does those kind of things. Please allow us to continue on to be the greatest district that we can possibly be.
Thank you. So, Mr. Humphrey, before you start speaking, I'm calling the next three: Charles Scott, Gary Greer, Tanisha Williams.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Humphrey. I'm the principal at Idlewild Elementary School. I just want to speak on behalf of Dr. Ray and in favor of Dr. Ray. So many things have been said about Dr. Ray this afternoon, but I think the one thing that's been the same as we've heard about Dr. Ray over his years in leadership is that he's a man that cares about those that he serves. One thing that I've seen in his career, he's done almost every job inside the school, but he's remained a humble person. And he knows teachers, he knows the principalship, he knows leadership, but he continues to serve the schools. And so for Dr. Ray, I thank him for his leadership, as anytime there's an issue that goes on in Shelby County, when it involves children, when it involves teachers or principals, he is there. That is a great man that we have right now serving us as our interim superintendent, and it is my prayer he will become our next superintendent for a very long time. Thank you, Dr. Ray.
Charles Scott, 3689 Huckleberry Street, speaking on behalf of United Shelby County Council. There's really not a lot to add. All the comments have been said, and this crowd really says it all. But I'm here in support of the contract for Dr. Ray and the superintendent. A contract in line with the largest school district in Tennessee and also one of the largest school districts in the nation. I know you have high expectations with the 2025 plan, and Dr. Ray gives you that flexibility not only because of his knowledge of the system, but also gives you that flexibility so you can take your time in search of a new superintendent. And finally, we know he hit the ground running because he's already done that in the school board meeting. So without further ado, I just say look around at the crowd and 2 thumbs up.
Gary Greer, 9753 Woodland View Lane. I stand before you representing the Department of Alternative Schools. I've known Dr. Ray for over 20 years, and I'd like to say that there's no need for a national search for someone who is nationally recognized. He understands the culture, the climate, and the circumstances that our children deal with. He supports programs such as Project Stand, Project Graduation, things that help children. He's not political, and I can tell you that he supports his people. He has their back. He's fair. He's loyal. He's courageous. He's not afraid to stand on principles. Thank you.
Ms. Williams, before you speak, I'm going to call the next 3 speakers. Ron Redwing, Madeline Bush, Art Scott.
Good afternoon, or good evening, rather. As a member of the community, I would like to say a few words of gratitude and appreciation for the good work of Dr. Ray, Superintendent of Shelby County Schools. Dr. Ray is not only a role model for our students, but a champion for academic achievement as well. When 3 outstanding SCS teachers were celebrated for excellence, he was there alongside them, cheering them on. Dr. Ray takes the time to listen to the concerns of students, parents, and teachers. When families in our community experience hardship or tragedy, he makes himself available to help them weather the storm. I could give several examples of how Dr. Ray has made a significant impact in our school community. In closing, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Ray. Memphis appreciates you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, board. My name's Ron Redwing. I'm speaking on you today on behalf of the 100 Black Men of Memphis and as its president. I think I would be remiss if I did not say what you already know. You've already voted on this young man as a leader of this district. You recognize his talents. You recognize what he brings to the table. I would simply say to you in 3 words, stay with Dr. Ray. And I think that sums it all. But as president of 100 Black Men, Dr. Ray, we want you to know that we're here with you. We're going to stand with you. We're going to work with you on the many initiatives you've set forward. And we look forward to spending and working with you in the years to come. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Madeline Bush, Art Scott, Tisha Dura. You're Art Scott.
So, Chairperson Love, Interim Superintendent Ray, distinguished board members, my name is Art Scott, 723 Great Tree Trail. I'm a science teacher at Bolton High School, and I'm representing the United Education Association. Board members, my grandfather, who could not read or write, being raised a sharecropper in western Kentucky in the South, nevertheless was a very wise man. One time he told me, Arthur, that's what he called me, the devil you know is usually better than the devil you don't. Dr. Ray, you are not a devil, but we do know you as teachers. You're working, you're a homegrown product, you're doing the work. We need you as our superintendent. We've had plenty of devils already at SES. We know this one, and we like them.
Miss Dura, I'm going to call the last speaker. Okay, we need to be respectful of the person at the mic. Okay. So after Ms. Dura, we're going to have Stephen Hunter. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Tisha Dura, and I'm the principal of Craigmont High School. I have a very short story. I have lots of stories. I almost feel like I stalked Dr. Ray, but I have lots of stories. One story, prom night 2016 on Bill Street at midnight, and we had an incident, and the only person I thought about calling that I knew would be that responsive at midnight was Dr. Ray, and he answered his phone and walked me through what could have been a very disastrous night. So I appreciate Dr. Ray. He's supported us over the years, and I can speak on behalf of principals and myself. He's been an advocate for principals for us, and he has been our voice in so many rooms and at so many tables. I know that I speak when I speak for principals, when I say his leadership is characterized by fairness, responsiveness, and a willingness to listen. And I feel like we can go all the way with Dr. Ray. Thank you.
All the way with Dr. Ray. A known devil is better than a devil you don't know. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Stevon Hunter, principal of Kirby High School, 4080 Kirby Parkway, 38115. Also the pastor of Georgia Avenue Baptist Church. I counsel my church service tonight to be here, and I think that there's a there's a praise and worship song that would sum up that national search. It goes a little something like this: I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. Looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater than Ray. He has the plan, he has the people, he has the pulse of the people, and you best believe he's prolific and powerful. I say, stay with Ray.
Thank you. The question is now on the employment contract of the interim superintendent. Do we have a motion? It has been motioned by Board Member McCormick, second by Board Member Bibbs. Shanice, roll call, please. So, point of clarity, do we have the roll call and then we discuss, or do we?
No, we discuss first.
Okay, excuse me. The lights are on for discussion. Board Member Love.
That's what it said. That's what it said.
Board Member
Board Member
Avent.
Love. Board Member Avent, but thank you, Ms. Love. I just want to say thank you to all the folks who came out to let us hear your voice about the decision we're making tonight. We feel like Dr. Ray has literally hit the ground running, and we know how responsive he is and that he always has the best interests of kids at heart. So I am fully supporting this contract tonight.
And seeing we have no more lights, I'm sorry, Board Member Coleman?
We just have a correction. It says, the board in accordance with its actions, and it goes on to say on December 12th, 2019, it should say 18. Employment in term. On the contract. We want to give him all his time.
So on page 1, employment in terms, it says for a period of 18 months commencing on January 19th.
No, up, employment in term, number 1. The board in accordance with its actions as found in the minutes of its board meeting held on December 12, 2019.
Okay, 18.
We want to give him all his time. We don't want to cheat him.
Yes, ma'am. So what's the process of making sure that this is
any objection to that change?
Is there any objection to the change of putting it at 2018?
There being no objection, it's changed.
Being no objection, it is changed. Please make note in board docs. Board Member Woods.
Yes, Madam Chair. You're doing a good job there, Ms. Love. Shantae got her work cut out for her. No, seriously, I'm just moved. I'm moved by the comments that we've heard today, particularly, I think, to this board. I think it just speaks to where the work actually is happening. The work is happening at our schools, our principals that have come out tonight, our teachers, and then obviously our education leaders. We count on you to get this work done, and this board is committed, as we've indicated, to a fully transparent process to identify our next leader. But just like with us choosing an interim, we're confident in the work of Dr. Ray. So I too, like Ms. Avent indicated, will be supporting this recommendation. But if we do have time, I would love to get 30 minutes of y'all to just say great things about me. Is there any way? No, that's probably not going to happen. All right, I'll conclude. Thank you.
So before we take this vote, I do want to say that I also echo the comments that were made today. As a board member coming in first time, first year, I've reached out to Dr. Ray over the past 6 years. And Dr. Ray is one who's always fair. If I'm not right, he's willing to let me know that I'm not right. But he's also willing to get the answers resolved to make sure that our parents have an answer that they understand. So I will most definitely be supporting this contract and supporting Dr. Ray in the work that I know he will continue to do. At this time, roll call vote, Ms. Anthony.
Board Member McKissick. I enthusiastically say yes. Board Member Woods.
Aye.
Board Chair Avent.
Aye.
Board Member McCormick. Aye. Board Member Bibbs. Board Member Coleman. Aye. Vice Chair Love.
Yes.
You have 7 votes in the affirmative.
Motion passes. This motion passes. Hello to our new interim superintendent, Dr. Ray. Being no other business before this board, this meeting is adjourned. I'm sorry, we do need to let Dr. Ray make an announcement. I'm sorry.
Let me say this. I love that sign, unbought and unbossed. All right, absolutely. Let me say this. I really appreciate the kind words from parents, teachers, students, community leaders. And I want to really thank the board for their guidance and support over the last few weeks. We're closing in on 3 weeks of my tenure, and I couldn't be more excited about this great work. And I'm glad to begin to talk about the 7 next steps of Destination 2025, as I shared with the board a few weeks ago. And step number 4 talks about servant leadership. Servant leadership, giving of yourself as a leader. And that is so important to me. So tonight, I do want to share a few or a couple of new appointments. I want to share and say that I want to first thank Chief Brian Stockton for playing a key role within Shelby County Schools. Of course, you know Mr. Stockton came down from D.C. and very instrumental in his hard work and bridging the gap, standing in the gap for us here in Shelby County Schools. So I want to give Brian a big round of applause. So Brian has decided to take on a new role with Shelby County Schools for the remainder of the school year. And I just want to thank him so much, and I really appreciate all your work. Thank you. I want to announce tonight and introduce to you our new Chief of Staff. Please stand, Dr. John Barker. Or should I reintroduce Dr. Barker? He will be transitioning into the Chief of Staff role immediately. and we are excited to welcome him back to our great district. Prior to his consulting firm, he served as Chief Accountability Officer for Chicago Public Schools and served for several years as Chief of Staff and Executive Director of Research, Evaluation, and Assessment with Memphis City Schools. We're glad to have him back in our family, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that he's a proud father of a future Central High School graduate, John Barker. Also, board, as you know, communications is a big priority area for me, and I want to do everything possible to ensure we are communicating effectively and efficiently with all of our stakeholders. For this reason, I would like to introduce tonight our new Deputy Chief of Communications, Ms. Jerica Phillips. Ms. Phillips, please stand. Ms. Jerica Phillips, who will be working alongside Chief Powers and Communications broadcast team to help tell the SES story and highlight all the great work of our schools, teachers, and students. Ms. Phillips is a familiar face in our community, and we see her every day in WMC Action News 5, a team she joined nearly 10 years ago. She is the weekend morning anchor and a reporter for the weekday morning newscast. Jerica earned a Bachelor's of Science in Communications and Broadcast Journalism from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Please help me welcome Ms. Jerica Phillips into the SES family. So, once again, board members, I just want to say thank you. You'll receive an updated organizational chart and a list of new appointments. Again, I appreciate you. I appreciate the principals. I appreciate teachers. And I'm going to stand for what's right, and I'm going to stand for children every day, all day. And I love that sign, unbought and unbossed. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got 9 bosses, but she's talking about something else. Absolutely.
And as always, Dr. Ray, taking the spotlight off of yourself and spotlighting others, one thing that we like about you. So, being no further business before this board, now this meeting is adjourned.